This is the warm-up for lesson 12, so take a second and try to do this. You billed your neighbor $52 for work you did around his house. Materials cost you $16 and you charged $4 an hour. How many hours did you work? So 4H plus 16 is going to equal 52. If we subtract 16, we get 4H equals, what is this, 36, divide by 4, and we must have worked 9 hours. Today we're going over word problems again. We did that yesterday. We learned some strategies to use when solving word problems, drawing a picture, writing a verbal model. We went over some word keys, in addition to, some, product, all that kind of good stuff. So today we'll do a word problem and then we'll go from there. So our first example here, a page of a school yearbook is 8.5 inches by 11 inches. The left and right margins are 1 inch and 2.5 inches respectively. The space between the picture is 1/4 inch. How wide can each picture be to fit across the width of the page? So we want to make a verbal model. A is to make a verbal model. So well, we're going to need to reread this here. 8.5 by 11, so that would be, 8.5 by 11 inches. We've got ourselves a little picture here. The left and right margins are 1 inch and 2.5 inches respectively. So we've got the left margin. I'll see if I can draw a nice margin in here. Is going to be 1 inch. So that's going to be 1. And the right margin is going to be 2.5. The space between the pictures is 1/4 inch. How wide can each picture be to fit 3 across the width of the page? So we're looking to fit 3 pictures. They're going to be skinny pictures. But we'll have a picture here. Let's redo that. We'll have a picture here, a picture here, and a picture here. Okay, so we've got our space between our pictures, and I'd imagine if it was, we'd have more pictures as we go, but so we've got a picture, and a picture. It says the space between pictures is 1/4 inch, so that would be 1/4 here, and another 1/4 here. So for our verbal model, we're going to have what it is. So we've got the margins, left and right. So left margin plus right margin plus the pictures, which would be 3, so 3 times the picture, 3p, plus our space in between times 2, because there's 2 space in between, so 2 times, we'll do S for space in between, and that's all going to add up to make 8.5, because that's how wide the page is, so 8.5. So our equation B would just be left margin 1 plus right margin 2.5 plus 3p, that's what we need to solve for, plus 2 times our space in between, so 2 times 1/4, and that equals 8.5. And then for C, we just need to solve this. So we're going to combine some like terms. We'll say 1 and 2.5 makes 3 and 1/2 plus 3p plus 2 times 1/4. Well, 2 times 1/4 would make 2/4, which simplifies to 1/2. So plus 1/2. And that equals 8 and 1/2. So now we can combine our like terms again. 3.5 and 1/2 makes 4. So 4 plus 3p equals 8 and 1/2. Subtract 4, subtract 4. 3p equals what? 4 and 1/2. So let's change this. 4 and 1/2 is going to equal, how do we change from a mixed number into an improper fraction? We multiply our whole number times our denominator and then add the numerator. So 4 times 2 makes 8, plus 1 is 9, so that's 9/2. 4.5 is the same as a 9/2. We can check that. What's half of 9? 4.5. So I'm going to rewrite this in here as 9/2. And now when we go to solve this, we'll divide by 3, and dividing by 3, dividing is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, so we'll just multiply both sides by 1/3. Those will simplify out, and we're left with p equals 3 goes into 9 3 times, 3 goes into 1 once, 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2, so 3/2, or 1 inch and 1/2. Same thing. So that's how wide those pictures are. So what did we do? We made ourselves a picture, we made a verbal model, we did a bunch of math, and that's how we want to do our word problems. Make sure you're writing stuff down. Make sure you're drawing yourself a picture, getting a good idea of what the question is asking you to do. Today our homework is homework number 12. You've got quite a bit of time to do it, so